There is a version of you that lives in complete darkness. It holds every piece of rage you've ever shoved down, every ambitious dream you were told was unrealistic, and every desire you were taught to feel ashamed of. And here is the dark truth about human nature. The harder you try to hide this part of yourself, the more it secretly runs your entire life. In psychology, this hidden vault is called the shadow. Ancient spiritual traditions called it the lower self, or tamasic energy. But for decades, modern productivity culture dismissed it as mystical nonsense, until brain imaging revealed a biological reality that changes everything. Your brain is built with a social gatekeeper called the prefrontal cortex. As you grow up, this part of your brain learns what behavior gets you loved and what behavior gets you rejected by your parents, teachers, and peers. To keep you safe and accepted, your prefrontal cortex aggressively suppresses impulses it deems dangerous. But those neural networks don't just disappear, they get locked into your limbic system, your subconscious emotional engine. You aren't fixing yourself by hiding these traits. You are simply using up half your daily energy, keeping a metabolic beach ball held underwater. And today, we're going to talk about why that beach ball is bursting and how to turn that suppressed darkness into your greatest superpower. So, how do you know if your shadow is secretly running your life right now? Look for these 3 subtle signs in your day-to-day existence. Sign number 1, irrational judgment and jealousy. Have you ever met someone and instantly disliked them for no clear reason? Or felt an overwhelming wave of anger toward a coworker who takes up space, speaks loudly, or shows off? Neuroscience reveals that when someone's minor trait triggers you intensely, your brain is actually spotting a trait you suppressed in yourself. If you were punished as a child for being loud, seeing someone else be loud triggers your brain's internal threat alarm. You don't hate them, you hate the part of yourself you aren't allowed to be. Sign number 2, sudden explosive slip-ups. Your prefrontal cortex operates like a battery. When you get tired, burnt out, or overwhelmed, that executive filter weakens. This is the exact moment the beach ball shoots out of the water. You snap at a loved one, binge on food or cheap stimulation, or make a self-sabotaging decision that ruins months of hard work. Then you sit there in regret saying, "I don't know what came over me." Sign number 3, unexplainable fatigue. You sleep 8 hours, eat well, but still feel an underlying weight in your chest and an endless lack of drive. That isn't laziness. That is the physical cost of keeping your true emotions suppressed 24/7. Your body is locked in an invisible internal tug-of-war against itself. Here is the epiphany. Your worst habits, your unexplained exhaustion, and your intense emotional reactions aren't random flaws. They are your suppressed shadow screaming to be seen. Here is the plot twist that changes everything. Your shadow is not evil. It is just raw biological energy without a constructive direction. Carl Jung famously noted that 90% of the shadow is pure gold. Why? Because locked inside the traits you suppress are the exact tools you need to build an exceptional life. Unexpressed aggression, when integrated, turns into firm boundaries, raw ambition, and the courage to take risks. Unexpressed wildness, when integrated, turns into charismatic humor and artistic brilliance. Unexpressed sensitivity, when integrated, turns into deep intuition and emotional mastery. To stop fighting your shadow and start using its power, here is your 3-step practical protocol. Step 1, the trigger audit, mind. For the next 7 days, every time you feel an irrational wave of envy, disgust, or judgment towards someone, do not ignore it. Write it down. Ask yourself one question. Where in my life did I learn that expressing this exact quality was dangerous? If you hate people who demand attention, realize that your inner drive to stand out was forced into hiding years ago. Step 2. Somatic discharge, body. Trapped subconscious energy must leave the physical body. If your shadow holds decades of suppressed anger or drive, sitting quietly won't fix it. You need a biological outlet. Engage in high-intensity resistance training, combat sports, or somatic breathwork. Give your nervous system a safe, physical container to discharge that primitive survival energy. Step 3. Transmutation, spirit. Stop trying to be a perfect person who never feels dark thoughts. Shift your perspective. Say to yourself, I am a complete human being capable of both light and dark. I acknowledge my aggressive, ambitious nature, and I choose to direct it toward building my life, protecting my people, and chasing my highest goals. Gold is never found lying out in the open under the bright blue sky. It is mined deep underground, in the quiet, untouched depths of the earth. You cannot achieve true wholeness by slicing away the parts of yourself you were taught to fear. Real growth happens when you walk into the dark, claim the power you hid away, and bring it back into the light. If this video gave you a new lens on your own mind, hit subscribe, leave a comment with the trait you've been suppressing, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Welcome to Long Dark. Embrace the dark